Hi, this is Christine with Where's Watson? Well, it's springtime, as you can tell from the lilacs behind us. And I'm very pleased to be here with Christy Doran, who from our Campus Wellbeing Program. And she's going to tell us about the springtime activity that we have planned for today. Christy, welcome to Where's Watson.
Thank you so much, Christine. It's exciting to be on one of your videos.
So tell us first about what Campus Wellbeing is and why we have such a program here at RRC Polytech.
So Campus Wellbeing is a department here at the college that focuses on staff and student wellness. It's a holistic approach, and we offer opportunities, spaces, and resources for staff and students to focus on their wellness. So it could be body, mind, spirit. We do sport and fitness. Mental well-being is a large component. And then recreation and wellness is my portfolio. And yeah, we have a lot of different activities such as the e-bikes. We do gardening plots and home series. We have intramural sports, dietitian presentations, paint nights.
So Christy, how did the idea come about to partner with sustainability on a Try an E-Bike program?
In the North Gym here at the college, we have, on the Notre Dame campus, we have a regular bike program. We have 4 bikes in our fleet, and students can come anytime during the day and borrow a bike, go to McDonald's, go to Polo Park, go for a ride. And so this partners and expands upon that program. Sustainability approached us actually and said we would like to get some e-bikes in the fleet to encourage people to commute and sustainability, reduce gas house emissions. And we thought it would be a good chance for staff. We're going to start with staff first to try them out before they buy.
Wonderful. That's great. Well, thank you very much for all of your incredible work. I know the diversity of the programming is amazing. And also too, I love seeing our departments partner together for, a shared outcome.
Yes, collaboration is key.
Wonderful. So now we're going to turn it over to Jeff. Jeff, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jeff Heath. I'm the Environmental Initiatives Coordinator in the Sustainability Office.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about how Sustainability Office came up with the idea for Try an E-Bike.
Yeah, so e-bikes have gotten much bigger in Winnipeg in the last, couple of years.
Yeah.
I've seen them on the streets all the time. And so they're here to stay, and people are using them as a way to get to school, to work. But the outlay for them, the cost is a little bit more than a regular bike, and so it can be a little bit intimidating just to jump in and buy an e-bike if you've never had the experience before. And we got a lot of feedback from staff and students that they were interested, but they'd like to try one first. We just did a commuter survey, and there was 20% of our respondents said they'd like to try an e-bike and potentially buy an e-bike. Another 26 on top of that said that they were interested, but they'd like to try one first. And so purchasing these e-bikes for the college was part of a way that our department works to try and reduce, we try and incentivize and encourage people to make alternative transportation choices, alternative to just driving alone.
Yeah.
So we do our best to get people biking, walking, rolling, taking the bus, carpooling. And this is just one of the ways that we are giving people an opportunity to try before they buy and get them out on their bikes, hopefully enjoying their commute on a bicycle instead of maybe sitting in traffic and having a tough morning in your car.
Absolutely.
It's a great way to get to work or school.
Yes. So what's the difference between an electric bike or an e-bike and a pedal bike?
Yeah, not a whole lot. Most of the things on these bikes that we bought are the same as you're going to have on your regular bike at home. The brakes and the gears are pretty much the exact same, but it's got a motor and it's got a battery. And the ones that we have here are called pedal assist, and so they don't have a throttle. You can't like vroom vroom like a motorbike or a scooter. But they give you a little extra push and assistance. They have a motor right in the middle here. They're what's called a mid-drive. Some e-bikes have a motor in the back wheel, but these ones are mid-drive, which really just makes it feel like you're getting a good tailwind behind you as you ride.
Wonderful.
It rides almost identical to the feeling of the regular pedal bike that you have at home, with that extra assistance. So you don't have to put in quite as much effort.
That's wonderful. Do you have an e-bike?
I don't have an e-bike.
Okay. But you've seen people really gravitate towards them.
And they're a lot of fun.
Oh.
And you know, for people that maybe have a longer commute, or you know, like you just don't want to show up to work sweaty.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight that headwind coming up our bike path on Sherwin on the way here.
Yeah.
They just take the edge off of the physical effort. Maybe people with mobility issues or who have concerns that like I'm just not quite there fitness wise to do like a 15-kilometer commute to work or school. These really make it entirely doable, entirely possible, and a lot of fun.
Wonderful. So can you tell me a little bit about the program? So when it's launched, how do people sign up? What's the deal?
Yeah, so they can go to the North Gym here at our NDC campus. Folks from other campuses are allowed to, or I should say staff from other campuses are allowed to participate as well.
Yep.
But they go to the gym and contact Christy. She'll help you schedule a date when you're going to be able to take these for up to a week.
Okay.
Which is pretty great.
Yeah.
You know, our other bike program is sort of like a daily rental affair, but this is really meant to encourage you to take it home, try it on, see how you like it, and bring it back when you're done. And hopefully you like it so much that you're, you know, willing to do it on the regular and get yourself an e-bike.
Wonderful. That's so great. Well, now we're going to actually try the e-bikes. So that's why I've got the trusty helmet. The helmets actually come with the program, so you don't have to provide your own. You can, the helmet comes with the bike so that we're always safety first here at RRC Polytech. And I'm going to drive along with Jeff and we're going to see how it goes. So see you in a minute. So Jeff and I are now at the Brookside Cemetery having a lovely ride with our eco-bikes. And so Jeff, being in nature, the smell of the grass and the springtime air, what are some of the benefits, financial, environmental, from a mental health and wellness, physical health perspective? Why would somebody want to consider an e-bike?
Well, financial is a big one, and a big motivator for lots of folks. You know, the cost of a bike versus a vehicle, the cost of insuring a vehicle is pretty serious. The cost of repairing and maintenance on a vehicle is a lot greater than what you're going to have to put in to repair and maintain an e-bike. Parking is a concern for lots of folks, and you know, with the ample parking that we have at our various college campuses for bikes, both indoor and outdoor, and bike lockers.
Yeah.
You know, the costs associated with that are going to be much reduced if you're riding a bike. And you know, there's plenty of environmental benefits as well. Reduced greenhouse gas emissions. You know, your bike isn't really putting out any.
Yeah.
Aside from in the production phase of the bike, but yeah, it's good for the environment, and even more so, I think it's great for people's health and wellness. You know, even though these are e-bikes and they are assisting you, you're still getting exercise. You're still getting out there and moving, using your body. I talk to people all the time who are just like say that their commute is the best part of their day. You know, you're out there in nature, listening to the birds, smelling the flowers. Just being in nature does so much for our wellness. Yeah. And is a really great way to start and end our day, as sort of like a way to leave work at work.
Yeah.
You do this physical activity and you pedal out any of that stress, and it just sort of melts away.
Yeah.
And
people are really nice on bike packs.
Oh yeah, totally.
Versus in traffic.
Yeah.
So
no, people.
It's really lovely. They wave. They ring their bells. We have bells too, by the way.
Get out the way. Yeah. Nothing irks people more than sitting in traffic, and you don't have to do a lot of that when you're getting to work or school on a bike.
Yeah.
And it shows in people's moods on their commute. You know,
Yeah.
There's smiles on the bike path, and
yeah,
there's a lot of frowns in traffic. So it's scientifically proven that people who are commuting by bike are generally happier about the way, feel happier when they get to work.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the details of the bike. So we have 3 kinds of assist. We have eco, normal, and high.
Yeah.
And maybe talk a little bit about how long can you ride on any one of those, and then how long it lasts.
Yeah.
And how do you charge them? Like what kind of electrical input do you need when you plug them in at home?
Yeah. So as part of your rental, we provide a charge cable as well as a lock. And you plug them in at home. You plug directly into the battery here, or you can remove the battery and bring it inside.
Mm-hmm.
And a full charge, if you're in low or eco mode,
Yep.
will give you about 80 kilometers of range. So
Oh.
that's quite sizable. I don't anticipate too many people commuting longer than 40 one way. So
Yes.
if you're in low, you can go a real long way. The more electric assist you're using, so if you're up in normal or high, that kilometer range is going to go down. And so in high mode, your battery will give you about 40 kilometers of range.
This way.
Yep.
And what, do you know how long it takes to actually charge a battery?
I don't. I haven't charged one from empty yet. So
So our
stay tuned.
participants will let us know.
Yeah, you can tell us. But they do have an auto shut off. And so you
good.
can just leave it plugged in, overnight or in the office or whatever. And once the battery's full, it automatically cuts itself off. So things don't overheat, anything like that. They're high quality bikes and high quality batteries. And you don't have to worry about fire hazards in that respect.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Jeff. This is such a wonderful day. It's so beautiful out. And thanks to Stephanie, who's been videotaping us very carefully while we've been driving. And to Christy and Stephanie, Jeff, the whole sustainability team, the whole campus well-being team, who've really joined together to collaborate on what a wonderful opportunity for our staff. Again, you can pick up those bikes at NDC, at the North Gym, but you can be from any campus, any staff member, open to any staff members, and look for staff moves when we can officially launch the program. Take care. Thanks so much. And now we're really going to go for a ride.
Let's go.